Today we are starting with the new podcast series in English language, and our guest today is the journalist Chris Leadbeater. Chris, could you please introduce yourself for the Bosnian public, for the public in Sarajevo?
Hello, I'm Chris Leadbeater. I am the travel correspondent for the Daily Telegraph in London, the newspaper. I'm here. I've been here for most of this week to visit Sarajevo, to write about Sarajevo, looking at its Olympic heritage, and telling the story in light of the fact that the Beijing Olympics are starting this week as well. So it's placing the Winter Olympics of then into the time frame of now.
If I can ask you, what is your impression first about Olympic venues, about Olympic museum, and about Olympic legacy in Sarajevo, in Bosnia?
Well, that's what I've been here to discover and write about. I think it's I think the Sarajevo Winter Olympics are they're Olympic Games which resonate and echo for many reasons. I think you might even say that they are the most memorable of all the Winter Olympics, both for the way they were received at the time and then obviously what came after for this city. It's been amazing to see the venues today, almost 40 years after the games. It's been fascinating. Some of the sites I've seen they're in an older condition. So I went to the bobsleigh track on Prvi yesterday. Incredible to see that now as it is with the murals on it and how it's been used as a modern art canvas in a way. And then I've been to Bieliznica and seen the Olympic slopes, the men's Olympic slopes as they were in '84, as they are now as a modern ski resort. So it's amazing to see it in both lights, both as a historical thing and as a modern living facility for winter sports.
Tell us a little bit more about Olympic Museum. You probably visited the Olympic Museum as well.
I thought that was incredibly impressive. It's a very well done museum. I think that's the most important thing. It tells its story very, very clearly. It has the amazing artworks and posters of the games. It has a bobsleigh at the time. It has medals. It has stories. It does the story of the games very well and very clearly. And I felt that having been there I spent maybe an hour there. I knew a little already, and I learned a lot when I was there. And it's very easy to absorb the information. It's very easy to digest it. It's very well presented.
I'm certain you've been briefed about EUF, and on the top of the Olympic Committee, Mr. Rajo, Marijan Kvesić, and late Siniša Krunić. What is your impression about EUF, about the people who carried out that big job for the EUF?
For the youth games?
Yeah, youth games.
I must admit, I didn't realise before I came here for this trip that the youth games had been here, and I thought it was amazing to learn that the Olympics had returned here in a way before the pandemic. So yes, it was fascinating to hear about that and to see how that worked. And the museum covered that as well. So that was something I learned about this week. That was an impressive sort of modern legacy of the Olympic. Yeah.
You've definitely been informed as well about Olympic Games from 1984.
Yes.
And probably you linked those two things, and you feel this committee and this city and this country are capable of doing a bit more in that respect.
It's very clear to me that the Olympic legacy in this city it's a living thing. I don't think I've ever been anywhere, any city where the Olympic legacy is so visible and such an important part of the everyday. obviously I live in London, and London had the Summer Games in 2012, and that was a very big thing at the time. It still is, but you don't get the sense if you go to London now that the Olympics this is the big story. Whereas I think in Sarajevo you still have a very real sense of the Olympics having been here and what it meant.
Yeah. Generally, what kind of feelings you are bringing out to UK, to London from Bosnia, about people, about friendliness, about Sarajevo and other things?
I've been made very welcome here. It's been a very enjoyable few days. I've met some wonderful people. So I've talked to former competitors who were competing in the games in '84. I've talked to members of the Olympic team who are going to Beijing next week to take part in the modern games. So it's been a very wonderful few days. I wish it was longer, but yes, I've been made to feel very welcome and feel part of the family here.
Tell us a little bit more about touristic, because that's part of your direct kind of, involvement and profession, touristic capabilities of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
I think what I've learned this week is how much there is here. I think talking as a British journalist, as a British travel writer, I think that the perspective, the British travel perspective on Bosnia is very limited. It's the people think about the war, they think about the Olympics before it, but they don't know much about the Bosnia of the 21st century and what's here. So it's been very good to learn about that, to see that it's a modern city. It's a place of great food and great people, and also there's very visible history. You have the original Ottoman area of the city, which retains its look and its feel and its vibrancy. I think the profile of Bosnia as a destination is still quite low for some countries in Western Europe, including Britain, and it will be good to see that elevated and Bosnia to be known more widely as a destination than it currently is.
I'm more than certain that people of Bosnia and Herzegovina is tired about the stories of war and suffering, and probably you'll bring completely new aspect about the country and Sarajevo in your writings. Do you agree with?
I think the war is always there. I think it's a story that it's still very recent in historic terms, and yes, I can understand that the city is tired of talking about it. It's the last century. Yes, I think there's a modern city here and a modern place to visit, and I think that needs greater spotlight.
Yeah, I was told by the people from Olympic Committee that they found a new friend in you. What do you think, vice versa, about that?
I hope so. Yes, I hope so. Yeah. That's good. That's good to hear. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your time.
Thank you for having me here.